It's giving colorist, it's giving hypocrisy, and possibly rage bait. So, okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel. It's no longer No Name Brand. The channel is going to be Zotumo. I decided on the name last week. So yeah, if you are returning, I got some new subscribers since my last video. Thank you so much for subscribing and for joining the journey with me, just as I'm still growing as a small YouTuber. I'm really excited to have you, and yeah, let's get into it. So today I would like to speak about the conversation around Lupita Nyongo as the poster child for dark skin black women, or the supposed beauty standard for dark skin black women, and the fact, or not the fact, the idea that she isn't even that pretty or she's not that beautiful. So this TikToker,
I feel like y'all just be picking the darkest, ugliest black girl and giving her kudo points for being pretty. And I don't take back what I said. Like, I feel like when it comes to black girls, y'all pick the ugliest woman who is dark skinned. And then y'all just want to be like, oh, she's pretty. No, like, there's dark skinned girls who are really pretty. And y'all gonna attack me and say I'm a bitch. I'm a fucking bitch. I'm racist, which I'm not. But like, it's just kind of like how y'all been shoving down people's necks with Lupita. And I'm not saying she's like but ugly. I'm not saying that. I just feel like I hate that when it comes to black girl beauty standards, y'all always pick the struggle. Y'all always pick the struggle black girl who can't even compete when it comes to like statistics or standards to be like, that's a pretty bitch. Like, I feel like y'all give brownie points just because a bitch is dark skinned. But I've seen some really dark skinned bad bitches. Like, and I'm not trying to be funny. I'm talking about like bad bitch, dark skin. But y'all never want to give the really pretty dark skin. Y'all always pick the fucking mediocre dark skin girl, and then y'all all give her pity points. I feel like y'all be giving pity points for a bitch being dark skinned and pretty. And as a black woman, I'm really offended because, like, there's really beautiful black girls out there. No makeup, no filter, no nothing, bitch. Me, me. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm 100% real. It's really upsetting. Y'all always just like struggle. Y'all just want struggle to relate. And some bitches are not relatable.
okay, so yeah, after watching that, wow, so many thoughts. I've seen quite a few think pieces, quite a few reactions to what she said. The biggest reaction that I saw was people saying that she isn't even that pretty, or you're talking about yourself, sis, or I know you're not talking about Lupita Nyong'o when you look like that. Like, I've seen quite a few people coming for her appearance, and I won't comment on that because that isn't even the point. I will say first and foremost, I've always thought Lupita Nyong'o is stunning. I couldn't believe it the first time I watched the video that someone could even say she's not beautiful. And anyways, the issue with her comments, not just the fact that it was hypocritical, because she's talking about dark-skinned women and how the beauty standard, or the woman that's pushed as the dark-skinned beauty is Lupita Nyong'o and her quote-unquote struggle looks. I want to focus on that word, struggle looks. Why is struggle associated with a woman's natural features? If we're talking about Afrocentric features, right? Obviously, the term itself is very nuanced because maybe in South Africa or in Nigeria, African women have broader noses, but in Ethiopia, the noses are more narrow. So I'm speaking just from the perspective of stereotypical Afrocentric features. Let me just say that. So Why are African or Afrocentric features known as struggle looks? Like, what's so wrong with dark skin and a broad nose and full lips and coarse, specifically short, coarse hair? So the not just the three A's and the B's, but the four B's and the four C's. The hair that's not the most aesthetically pleasing, quote unquote, aesthetically pleasing natural hair when it comes to the media. Because from my perspective, when you see dark skinned black women that are put on a pedestal or put as the thumbnails in femininity YouTube channels and movies and all of that, they usually have like some sort of Eurocentric features, like a more demure nose. The hair is usually straighter or up there with the three A's and the three B's. Yeah, like they're usually on the slim side. That's usually what you would see when it comes to dark skinned women as a beauty standard. Think of Coco Jones and Normani. Beautiful, beautiful girls. Think of Naomi Campbell, right? Even the models that are, I guess, African, like the Anokyo. I think Anokyo, Oyai, and I think Daki. They are all like really, really dark skinned. But if you look at their features, they are not as exaggeratedly Afrocentric. Like the noses aren't too broad, the faces aren't too, I don't know, like yeah, like the hair is always styled and they're really skinny and their faces are in proportion. Not to say that black women's natural or Afrocentric faces aren't in proportion, but it's like, I don't know, it's a Eurocentric version of African features, if that makes sense. So that's what I don't understand about this TikToker claiming that, someone like Lupita Nyongo, who primarily wears her hair in its natural state, which I believe her hair texture is like 4C, and who doesn't have like, I don't know, a nose job or hasn't lightened her skin, which some people in Africa still do. I don't understand why she is the poster child for the struggle aesthetic, the quote unquote struggle looks. That's the issue that I have with this. And it's making me think that the African woman or just black woman in general, monoracial black woman with dark skin and the most tight coils and like, short natural hair and a more African looking nose, it makes me think that they aren't the picture of beauty still. And it's problematic because as we try and move away from colorism and featureism and racism, we need to also move away from these stereotypes of like a struggling a black person being associated with natural hair and natural features and dark skin. If you look at Lupita Nyong'o and you look at her aesthetic and her style and just how she's moved in her career, she has moved with the utmost elegance, in my opinion. Look at her style, look at the magazine covers, look at the movie roles that she's taken on. She has an Oscar, for goodness sake. I truly cannot understand how you can associate her and her aesthetic with the word struggle. And yeah, it's not just this TikToker who thinks like this. It's also a subliminal messaging to a lot of black women, because you look at the femininity channels, you look at the femininity coaches, the sprinkles, you look at all of these women and they are all wearing like a bust down and like nose contours and, or so on and so forth. That's the aesthetic. That's the picture of femininity. Even I would go as far as to say that Oak Bluff ad, which I actually really, really liked. I love seeing Black elite. I love seeing Black excellence. It's so beautiful to me. And it's just something to definitely aspire to. But something I noticed in the ad was the dark skinned women, the really dark skinned women, were the ones with the straightened hair. I don't know if it was relaxed or they're just, natural straights or whatever, but it was like silky straight if you looked at them and their aesthetic, and they're also like quite slim. And that was the picture of black wealth and black excellence. Yes, there were a few other black women, I'm talking about the women specifically, not the men, black women and girls in that ad for Oak Bluffs, for what's it? Yeah, for Oak Bluffs, I forgot the brand. There were quite a few of the black women and the black girls who had natural hair, but they looked a bit more, they were of lighter skin specifically, and some looked a bit more racially ambiguous. So that also kind of adds to my point that we accept the natural look and the natural aesthetic when it's a certain kind of natural, like the 3A, 3B hair texture, the and it needs to be long, it needs to be a certain length, maybe on some level 4C hair texture is accepted as a beauty standard, but only if it's like bundles of 4C hair and it has to hang a certain way. So for the most part, when you wear your 4C hair, or when women in media or women, black women who are the poster child for beauty, poster children, sorry, for beauty and all of that, if they have 4C hair, it's not usually in an afro or like that kind of halo-y afro around your head to where it's like hanging kind of anti-gravity, like it's usually like maybe a kinky straight, or it's in some form of curl, using like that roller curl. I can't, I'll try and see if I can find an image to show you what I'm kind of mean. But yeah, for the most part, we're still a long way from seeing a black woman with dark skin, with short 4C hair, with an Afrocentric nose, Afrocentric features. We're a long way from seeing that as the main beauty standard. So obviously, I not only disagree with this girl about her comment about Lupita, I genuinely thought that was rage bait, because truly I can't fathom even seeing Lupita and like, please look at her makeup campaigns, please look at her magazine covers, like please just woo. I really truly cannot even fathom that. But yeah, I think it was partially rage bait. If you look at the rest of her videos, she doubles down and she even comes for other celebrities or other people in her comments who are coming for her. I truly think it was a rage bait situation. But assuming that she meant what she said, I think she's wrong. And I think this is part of a bigger issue that is more subliminal. The fact that a certain kind of black woman with certain kind of black features is the beauty standard. And the beauty standard gets even stricter when it comes to dark-skinned women. I feel like I can't even blame them for wearing, bust downs and making sure that they look perfectly presentable at all times, because society is much harsher on black women, and the darker you are as a black woman, the harsher society will be on you beauty standard wise. Yeah, that's honestly, this was a bit more of a rant than a video essay. So yeah, just let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think this girl had a point? Or do you think that maybe this was just rage bait? And yeah, I personally think it was rage bait, but I also just think it's really showing a huge problem in our society of not letting a certain kind of black woman show up as her natural self. So yeah, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'll see you next week for another video. Yeah, like, share, comment, or don't at all, whatever you want. But yeah, it was lovely having you here today. Okay, bye. God bless.